everyone, and welcome back to So Biased. Today's project was inspired by the wonderful Shannon of Shannon Makes. She started a challenge for capetember for people to make different capes and cloaks for the month of September. It's obviously not September or October, almost on November. I can totally finish projects on time. That's a thing I'm good at. So even though my entry to this is extremely late, I decided to make a 1940s winter cape that would work really well for the balmy, not super cold, but very humid, wet Vancouver winters. In true World War II fashion, I used a bunch of leftover fabric that I had available from other projects to create something that ended up being really cute and really versatile for wearing outdoors. I will leave a link in the description to Shannon's channel. Go follow her because she is an amazing human creator as well as circus performer. And her videos are mwah, pure aesthetics. I'll also leave a link in the description to her capetember playlist. There are so many pretty capes in there. Really hope you watch those as well. And in the meantime, let's get sewing. So for those of you who remember my utility video, and if not, I will link it up there, have a look. I found this great book called CC 41 Utility Clothing, and in it they show this beautiful post-war utility CC 41 cape, and it is so stinking cute that I'm like, yes, because how cute is that? And I have all of this leftover blue wool from my princess coat, which I will also link up here. So I think I have enough yardage left over to make a cape in this. The only problem is it will have to be exactly this long because I have this folded over, so whatever the length is, it's going to be this, whether I like it or not, because that's all the fabric I have left. So I found a similar pattern online that just has the shape of the pieces. So I am going to take my own measurements and draw them out as the pieces, because it should basically be a side front, left side front, right side front, and either a single back piece or a back piece that has piecing down the center, and then a collar. And yeah, I love the little kind of like almost welt pocket slit style in this. So I am going to try to replicate that. So I'm going to do a collar, right side, left side, back, and then the welt pocket and collar piece. And hopefully that should be it. And lining, knee lining. Cut out the pieces, and we just have the two front panels and then the one back panel. And look at how cute these shoulders are. I was unsure. I am sure now, because that just has such a cute shape to it. So I just sewed together the shoulders. It is actually straight, it's just this mannequin is a little not quite the right size. So I'm going to sew on the collar, which I haven't done yet, and you can see it's going to close up in the front here. So I'm going to get some buttons, and I need to make a facing piece for the other side of the collar and to go down the front and around the bottom of the cape. And then I'm going to sew the slits in. I'm going to sew the slits in. What am I going to sew? I'm going to sew in a hole. No, I'm going to cut the slits, and then I'm going to create those kind of pseudo welt pocket style. I should go get some lining. But I'm really happy with this. It's very cute and very swishy, and I'm liking the shoulders. Well, I went out and bought lining fabric, and it's this really adorable paisley silver. It's polyester, but it's a lining, so, you know, who cares? And I cut it out using the same pattern pieces. So this is the front, and there's two sides of it. And then, hi, Mina. Got a wiggle butt over here. How about a face? Oh, wiggle butt. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Oh, he's sniffing over there. Hey, wiggle butt. Oh, Tornado loves. Oh. What are your rubs? So I have the lining, I have the front two pieces here, and then I have the back piece here on the fold. I am going to put a facing in. I did cut this full size, but there will be a chunk of facing on the inside of the front as well as the lapel. So I'm going to have to cut that out of this, but I figured cut it full size first, and then, you know, easier to remove than to add on. So I am going to trace the facing onto the extra wool I have and then cut that out, and then I'm going to sew it to this and then bag line the whole schlemazel and see how that goes. Okay, the lining is stitched together and I managed to put the facing on despite cutting this the different shape than the outside, which is the problem, but it works. So I have the facing all along the inside here. I have the facing along the bottom, which is the same blue as the outside. And this time, learn from my fail, I actually did a serging stitch on the outside or on all the seams of the liner, because this stuff frays like nobody's business. See? Already frayed. So, Mina, I'm coming to bed. I'll be there in just a sec, okay? And then I'm going to put interfacing on the collar, I think. Okay, getting close though. Look how cute this is. Living. Yay! I have the lining finished and it is sewn to the jacket. I'm gonna have to press it all down so it actually lays flat, because wool sewn to wool does not like to lay flat, unlike some dogs. I know. So I bag lined it along the sides and the top, and then I'm going to sew most of the bottom together through a bag lining and then turn it inside out, and I will just hand sew that the last little bit in the center closed, because I hate hand sewing and I'm too lazy to do it myself. I'm gonna have to cut the slits here for the kind of sleeve armhole things. Do these have a name? Armhole sounds weird because it's not really an armhole, like a hand hole. I have to cut the hole here through the lining, and then I'm going to have to finish it, and I have to do buttons and buttonholes. So as part of the continuing adventure of me being a disaster human, the inside of the lining does not exactly match the circumference around the bottom. I'm adding some cute little pleats to the bottom just to match it up. So I'm doing these, that's the center back. And then I'm doing them on the sides as well. We're gonna call this, it's not a bug, it's a feature. And then I'm gonna sew this together. Most of it, I'll just leave a small hole, turn it inside out, turn it right side out, and then press this down, and I'm gonna do some decorative stitching all along the edges. All right, so these are the buttons I picked, and I just love that they go with the silver lining. Oh my God, I just realized it has silver linings. Insert pun here. Oh my God. So I wanted something very blingy to go with the silver, and I got these beautiful kind of filigree buttons with the little crystal inside, which I think are super cute. And next up I need to do, they're not pockets, but they're basically like armhole flap things. So what I made is basically a giant buttonhole all the way up the top, and I'm just going to cut this out, and then I'm going to make a flap to go over it. The thing is, normally if you're doing a pocket flap, you'll put the flap here and like fold it under so that your hand can go in the pocket. But with this one, you have to put the flap on the other side because your hand is coming out the little armhole slit thing. So watch me screw that up. I guarantee I'm going to get that wrong and have to redo it. But I'm going to cover this up. You can see on the inside, it's basically a buttonhole. And I'm going to cut this out because this material frays super badly, so I wanted to make sure that I finish that edge as well. And I'm going to cover both sides of this, so you're never going to see the stitching anyway. And yeah, I'm going to put the little flappy thing on, and I think that's it. So that is my beautiful 1940s cloak with my phenomenal autumn drone footage. It was so much fun going out and posing on the edge of a lake as the drone came by. This lake has another dock next to it, and there was almost a dozen people gathered on it watching the drone fly by. The things you do for fashion. I'm really happy with the way this turned out. It's such a cute little thing that I can take out, especially if I'm going somewhere on a short trip and just want something to cover up with. It's really comfortable, it's very warm, and also it is windproof. If you liked my video, please like and subscribe. Please feel free to share it with anyone who you think might like it. Please follow me on Instagram. The links are in my description below. As well, if you'd like to, the link to my coffee is in my description as well, if you'd like to buy me a coffee to further my fabric buying addiction and other problems. If you like the project, please leave me a comment below. Please let me know what you thought of it or my other projects. Please let me know what you're working on. I've seen so many great projects in the comments, and I love to hear what everybody thinks. I have a bunch more projects coming up, as well as some continuing projects, including the World War II Challenge and my World War II Canadian uniform that I am very slowly making progress on. I hope you'll join me for those, and until then, stay happy and healthy, stay safe, take care of each other, and we'll see you soon. Bye! More earlobes. Okay, is that good? No? No? Okay, sorry, thought I was done. So, I am adding some cute little, no, focus, there we go. I'm adding some focus.